And a welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, hanging out with you where sports truly meets that thing called life. We appreciate you being here inside, of course, of the Heritage Hill Studios, Heritage Hill, right here with you in Pompey on Sweet Road, where I was yesterday celebrating Mother's Day with my mom in the beautiful rolling hills that remind me of The Sound of Music, one of her favorite movies. And, of course, Heritage Hill North, where I was on Saturday with some wonderful people. Shout out to Anthony and Beth as we enjoyed the wonderful Heritage Hill North and all that that has to offer, the awesome flatbreads and the experience and the ambiance on 628 South Main Street in North Syracuse, New York. So big time thanks to Heritage Hill, our proud exclusive studio partner here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin'. And we got some bread here in the studio for Lily. You know, when you have a dog and you bring your dog to the studio and to the office, you know, this is my daughter, and anybody that's listened to the show over the years, you know how awesome she is and how cute she is. You also have to bribe her to come in to get her inside so that she can, you know, so you can go into the studio and do what you need to do. So bread seems to work, folks. Honey wheat bread. So maybe if you have a Havanese and you're wondering what helps it to work, sometimes it's Havanese bread. Well, not all the time it's Havanese bread. So that's all for now, sweet girl. So welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Proud to be here with you Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Proud to be hanging out where sports truly meets that thing called life, and many thanks to everybody, like I said, who supported the show over the years and continues to support us here today. We have some awesome things coming up inside of MonPazPopcorn.com's What's Poppin'. We're going to start things off as we always do on a Monday with Mr. Murph, and Brendan Murphy is going to be joining me to speak on Major League Baseball news, his New York Jets, what he's most excited about, what's on his mind with the New York Jets. I'll tell you what's on my mind with my Jacksonville Jaguars as we go on the prowl here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. The segment that we discuss all throughout the years is what I call my Jaguars interviews, as well as my Jaguars analysis is on the prowl. So I'll give you my thoughts on the Jags. We'll get into the upcoming NFL schedule, what we're looking forward to, as we know that's going to be coming out Wednesday night, this Wednesday, May 15th. And then we'll do Sports Card Show and Tell, proudly presented by GG Cards and Breaks, my sports card shop of choice, and Wake Up Call's proud partner on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. And then a new video will air on its own today at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. That video that will be airing as a separate special is my sit-down conversation in the office of Fran Brown. The new Syracuse Orange head football coach, Fran Brown, and I have an uninterrupted, unedited conversation where him and I sit on the couch in his office and speak on numerous topics, including his childhood, first memories of football, his faith in God, what he sees in the community of Syracuse, New York, why the block letter S at Syracuse means so much to him, why he wanted this job, connecting with the alumni, and so much more. If you truly want to get to know Fran Brown in a way that you're not going to get to know him anywhere else, be here on Facebook.com and YouTube.com, both /WakeUpCallDT, this morning at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time, inside of the Heritage Hill Studios, to find out who Fran Brown is beyond the football field. With that being said, Murph is here this morning, and him and I have some time to spend together, starting with baseball, then on to the Jets, the Jaguars, and the NFL schedule coming up in our sports card show and tell, as we do here, proudly presented by GG Cards and Breaks. Mr. Murph, how are we doing this morning?
We are doing well. We are doing well. We found, well, I'm not going to jinx anything, so I'm not going to say nothing about it. We can talk about it later. But there's a decent chance we could actually be moving soon.
Oh, well.
So yeah, it all depends on what happens here in the next couple of days. But yeah, you might not see this whole setup for very much longer here, folks. It's we might be elsewhere. And do we know where yet? Nope. But we will see.
Yeah.
But got to spend a nice Mother's Day with my mom. Well, I'm sure it wasn't as nice as she would have liked because we were attempting to look at houses all day. Um, but that's the nature of the beast when you are moving is you kind of have to on a weekend you don't have much of a choice. So, right? But yeah, had a great day with her. We went took her out to dinner on Saturday night when my dad was still out in Jersey. We went well, we stopped at McDonald's on yesterday in the afternoon just because um we were trying to find a place to like sit down and regroup after we went to an open house where we immediately smelled and saw like a cat, which my dad is very allergic to cats. So we were like, nope, can't even look. So we unfortunately had to walk right out. And I mean, just the inside of the house looked beautiful to start, but it's the cat. We can't, nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're in a good mood today. Got a golf outing that I'm going to be going to here later on for my high school. Have not played in this tournament since I graduated, so it's going to be the first time in let's see 8 years that I'm playing. So that'll be pretty fun. And yeah, we're ready to talk some sports.
Yeah. Well, hopefully everything goes well with the house hunting. I know that the Murphy family is looking to have a new chapter here and where you're gonna be and where you're gonna put up put up that post. So looking forward to that. You have a beautiful house, so I'm sure it's gonna be no issue in selling that house. But once you find the new digs, I hope that everything is even better. Y'all have fun and enjoy it. I look forward to that. It's funny because I'm actually going to be in, and you and I didn't talk about this, but I'm going to be in the Poconos this coming weekend. So I'm actually going to be out there in your neck of the woods this coming weekend. So Murph and I, Murph is my like sanctuary there in case I need it. But yeah, but no, we'll talk about that off the air. But I am going to be in your neck of the woods this weekend, and it's crazy how fast things come up. That this beautiful house might be. It's not been on the market that long, folks. Might be.
No, it's maybe 3.5 weeks.
Yeah. So pretty amazing though, but happy for you all. And, Mrs. Murphy, as she already knows, a very happy Mother's Day to a sweet woman who always makes me feel at home. So God bless to your mom and a happy Mother's Day to your mom. Now,
And to yours as well as all the other great moms out there and some of those that we have lost. And yeah, it was always nice on Mother's Day to remember the moms and the grandmas that we know that are no longer with us, but spend the day with your mom. If there's one gift that's always going to be, even if you don't have a heck of a lot of money out there, like if there's one gift that you can give your mom that is always something that she would appreciate, it's just you being there.
yeah, it's time.
Honestly, I usually I end up, for one of Mother's Day or her birthday, I end up getting my mom something big. So for Mother's Day, I spent the day with her. The best part of the day was the card, and when we go to break, maybe I'll go back and grab it because it's a kind of an inside joke, but it was hysterical. It was such a she she opens the card and she just starts dying laughing just because it's a little inside joke from when I was growing up and playing sports and yeah and my mom showed it to my dad when we got home and he cracked up laughing too. So safe to say it was a good card.
Well, yeah, and that's the cool part. And I said that to my mom. Out of everything I got my mom too, I said to her, I said the card when I picked up the card, I said this card's gonna make you cry. So it was a little bit different. And I wrote my mom a poem in the card. And the poem talked about where we were going and what we were doing, and it included in it to follow the yellow brick road. And that was because I took her to see The Wizard of Oz, which is her favorite movie. And her other favorite movie, The Sound of Music, I brought her out to Heritage Hill Brew House out in Pompey so that she could see the rolling hills, which looks like The Sound of Music. So I brought her to both of her favorite movies. So you had the inside joke, I had the, this is her movie thing, and this is the uniqueness of it. So it's funny how you and I both went through a card to get through a big message. But yeah, I mean, folks, what Murph's talking about is the best gift you can ever give someone is your time. And time is a precious thing. When you can give of yourself and give that time, it's like, yeah, you can buy somebody something nice and you could do something great as far as a material gift, like, oh, somebody needs a new this, or they need a refrigerator for their house or whatever. You can do that. But above everything else, it's not the refrigerator that you buy, it's that you help them set it up. It's the jokes that you had over pizza when you're trying to get the refrigerator to fit. It always comes down to time and memories and love. So if you didn't see your mom yesterday, that's okay. But do something for mom today. If you're running around yesterday, then do something with mom. Call up mom. Bring mom a flower. It's never, in my life, it's never not Mother's Day or Father's Day. And with all due respect, it's never not Kids Day, because my parents always make the time for me as well and show me that they love me. So hug up your family, love up your family, your spouses, your kids, your friends, your brothers, your sisters, your friends that have become your brothers and sisters, your nieces and nephews, your godkids, your grandparents, and to all the moms up in heaven, including Gammy and G-Mama. We miss you, we love you, and we celebrate you every single day. So, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, with DT and Murphy, just know that whatever we're talking about behind the two of us men are some incredible, incredible people that have loved us in such a way to help us become the people we are today. And I hope you all have that as well. Murph, Major League Baseball, we look at so many different things that are going on, different things that are happening. We've talked about injuries that have gone on in the world of baseball this season. It feels like maybe it's because I'm paying attention to it more, but it feels like an influx. It feels like there's just so many people on an injury report. What is your take on what's going on this season in baseball? As we've seen a couple guys also go out here recently. We had a member of the Mets. They kind of put him off and said, all right, hopefully he'll be good by Monday. Shohei Ohtani, they were looking at him. Just what's going on in baseball? Does it feel like there's more injuries to you? How do you look at it?
So, yes, there are 100% more injuries this year. And it's really been happening the last 2 years, and it's more pitcher injuries than hitter injuries, at least as far as what I've seen. But you're seeing some of the best pitchers in baseball out for months and months, even a year. I mean, like Spencer Strider just had Tommy John. Garrett Cole narrowly avoided Tommy John, may still end up needing it at some point. DeGrom needed Tommy John. Yuri Perez, the young star for the Marlins, needed Tommy John. A lot of pitchers are getting hurt. And what's the one thing that changed in the last year with regard to pitching? Since the start of 2023, what is the one thing that has changed? Oh, the pitch clock. Pitch clock has changed.
Yeah.
You are speeding these guys up. They are throwing 100 miles an hour in a lot shorter spurts than they used to. The body needs time to recover. Think about, like, if you're ever in the gym, right? And you're lifting and you're like, imagine doing a set of 10 reps on bench press, right? You put the bar down. You get 15 seconds in between another set.
Yeah.
Is that enough time for your body to recover in order to do that? No, it's not. No. You're giving these guys 15, 20 seconds in between pitches. I'm okay. I get what the pitch clock has done. It has dramatically shortened games. Like by a good 35 to 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is good for the sport. However, they should look more into a longer pitch clock. I'm not saying like a 45-second pitch. It's 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I think 20 seconds is not enough time. You give him 30 seconds because this way it's a little bit more time for the body to recover. Clearly, these pitchers are talking about how it feels like they're being rushed.
Yeah.
Now, the younger guys that are just coming up, you're not seeing that quite as much because they're used to it in the minor leagues. But you look at guys like Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer who have had issues with injuries. Max Scherzer has had the back issue, and now he's got a shoulder issue that's going to keep him out longer than they originally expected. So you're seeing a lot of these guys that are saying it feels like they're getting rushed. Now, some of them work quickly. Max Scherzer is notorious for working very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Right? But for the guys that don't work quickly, that aren't used to this, that have to all of a sudden work super fast, you kind of wonder if that's putting a toll on their bodies.
Yeah.
This is starting to become a serious issue with pitchers just with their arms and, the fact that they are getting injured at an alarming rate. And it's not just, guys that are fifth starters for teams. Like, we're seeing the top pitchers in the game getting hurt.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. But yeah, I think injuries are a serious issue this year. I was actually chatting with one of my buddies over text earlier because we played in fantasy this week on one of my other leagues. So I said to him, yeah, that team's not doing all that well, that particular team. However, the team in my other league, the league that I'm actually tied for first right now, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys on the IL. For reference, we only get five injured spots, 5 IL spots. 2 of them I have in my minor leagues. This is a dynasty league. So I got 2 guys in the minor leagues, Langford and Yuri Perez. Yuri Perez had Tommy John surgery. And I've got 3 guys on my active roster that are on the injured list. And yet I'm still in first place somehow. I don't get it, but I'm not going to complain about it. But injuries definitely are a major concern that we've seen over not just this year, but over the last 2 years.
Yeah, no, it's been weird. It's been really strange. Pitch clock, like you said, 15 seconds. So when there's nobody on base, 20 seconds when there's at least one base runner, and looking at extending that a little bit more here, if that could help with all of these injuries, including all of these pitchers that are out. Unique point, Arizona here, just to look at the injury report. You look at my Diamondbacks, Alec Thomas, center fielder, he's out with a hamstring injury, should be back hopefully toward May 24th time period. Geraldo Perdomo, just looking at shortstop position for the Arizona Diamondbacks. He has a knee injury. He's expected to be out until June 1st. I'm just going down the injury report, looking at some of these guys here. The Braves have a couple guys that are out with oblique and elbow injuries. Sean Murphy is going to be out. We look at some of these other teams here. Baltimore's got 3 guys that are out for a little bit. One's supposed to come back, Austin Hayes, today. A couple guys out until May 23rd, May 24th time. Bautista's out for the season. Then we look at Boston and their injury report. They got a ton of guys that are out for the next few days, or if not a week or so. Then they have Casas that's out until June 21st. They have Yoshida who's out until June 21st. They got a couple guys that are out for the season, 4 guys that are out for the season. And I'm just going through alphabetical order here, folks. Everyone that I've looked at so far, the Cubs got a bunch of guys that are out for the next few days. The Chicago White Sox got guys that are out until July, 2 guys until July, 1 guy until June, some guys here until May. Cincinnati Reds, same thing here. And then Cleveland. I mean, I'm looking to see if there's any team on the injury report that doesn't have somebody out.
Oh, everybody's going to have injured players.
Yeah, but I'm looking at this though, and I'm just looking at when we're talking about the amount of injuries and the players that are on the injury report.
It's a lot.
There's nobody on a full. I mean, this looks like football. This honestly looks like the NFL. Because the NFL, there's always somebody injured, and I was told a long time ago, one of the guys said to me, he said, if the injury report, essentially the injury report should have all of us every week, because there's
Yeah.
never a time where we don't have bumps and bruises. And so he's like, the injury report should feature every single player at all times. The Angels injury report looks like their entire roster. Their injury report is the thickest that I have seen up to this point. They got 4, 8, 12. They have 13 guys on their injury report currently. And of course, Mike Trout and Anthony Rendon. But, the Dodgers have a huge injury report as well. Miami's is pretty hefty. Milwaukee has a good number of players here. The Mets is not as much, thank goodness, there for your Mets. But I mean,
but you have one notable name that's
Yeah.
out right now, Kodai Senga.
right, and that's the issue. Is like you look at it and say, all right, well, at least there's not as many as this guy, or as this team, but there's a bunch of guys here that are out, and we're looking at Francisco Alvarez, thumb injury.
Oh, I forgot about Alvarez.
Supposed to be out until June 15th, and then Kodai is supposed to be out until May 27th, and then McGill, who I have his rookie card, he's supposed to be out, a pitcher, until May 17th, so he's supposed to be coming back soon here. But yeah, I mean, to the point of conversation here, Murph, it's like I'm looking through this and I'm finding no team that is at a place of like, I mean, there's some teams that might have 5 or 6. I mean, Toronto's only got 4, and most of these guys are supposed to be back within the next couple days or the next week. But the injury report, like I said, for Major League Baseball, it looks like an NFL injury report right now.
Yeah, absolutely it does. But one thing I want to bring up too, you mentioned Tyler McGill there, and he I think he made one start early in the year, and then he went on the IL. He might not have a rotation spot to come back to.
Yeah.
To be quite honest, because Christian Scott has come up, made 2 starts, and looked fantastic. So he pitched well against the Braves on Saturday in those awful City Connect jerseys. Can we just retire those, please? Like, there's some teams with really good ones.
Yeah.
Like the Phillies have a really good City Connect jersey. The White Sox had a very good City Connect jersey last year. Can we just retire the Mets stupid City Connect jerseys? Those are awful looking. And the new Friday night, the black uniforms without the white piping also look awful. Get rid of those. But yeah, it's neither here nor there. But regardless, Christian Scott has earned his rotation spot, I think, at this point. So he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Jose Butto has pitched well in his time in the major league. So that's 2. Jose Quintana, you paid him a lot of money. You're not taking him out of the rotation. That's 3. Luis Severino has looked great this year. That's 4. He pitched well last night as well. Then you're kind of in flux a little bit with Adrian Hauser. Right? What do you do with him? That's probably the guy to go, but I feel like I'm still missing somebody. Who am I missing in the Mets rotation?
Well, while you think about that, I'm going to say this really quick to all the folks out there. You know that we put up polls on X, the former Twitter, all the time, and you can feel free to vote in those polls by following the show on X at CallDT. That's CALLDT, Call DT, wake up call for short, so Call DT. The poll that was just put up on our X by me this morning is, do you think the MLB pitch clock should be longer? I put in parentheses the information that you need to know. Currently 15 seconds with no base runners, 20 seconds with at least one base runner. Do you think the Major League Baseball pitch clock should be longer? You can vote yes or no this week, so make sure that you vote this morning. And I will be given where we're at as we go on this, because once those votes come in, I'll give you a little update, let you know. Thank you to everybody that votes as fast as you do, and just everything. I mean, we've had polls up for years, and as time has gone by, you have voted faster and more abundantly, and I appreciate that very much so. So thank you for your votes on everything that we talk about here, and we appreciate it so very much. But yeah, I mean,
John Mania was the name I missed.
What was the name?
John Mania was the guy that I missed. So I actually I think they might have taken Hauser out of the rotation. I don't know that for sure.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think they have. They might have been going with a six-man rotation, but Hauser can easily go. But McGill might just be optioned to AAA. He might just stay down there because there's no place for him right now because you're
Well,
already at a six-man rotation.
and I will say this, Miguel, if you're going to be optioned to AAA Syracuse Mets, I'm going to bring that rookie card that I have and
Get it signed.
try to get a little
Do it.
sketch on there. Little
Yeah, I
sketch.
would.
So, no, he because I got his card in a pretty good box of like Mets and Yankees rookies, and he was one of the ones that I pulled, and I think I was just looking at it recently. Actually, it might be off on the side here, but yeah, McGill, I definitely would love to get his autograph. So if he wants to come to these beautiful Syracuse Metropolitans, I would appreciate.
Well, I think he's there right now. I
Well,
think that's where he's doing his rehab assignment.
that's a good thing. I've been meaning to get myself over to see because I was there obviously to start the season. We're there for going into the season and having the opportunity for media day and being on the field, which was awesome. Speaking of injuries, I do want to make this note. Shohei Ohtani, they're playing it safe with him, they're calling it right now. He didn't play in the Dodgers 4-0 loss to the San Diego Padres that happened on Mother's Day. That didn't happen because of back tightness that he exited the game with Saturday night. Now, it's precautionary measure coming from Los Angeles Dodgers manager Dave Roberts. Ohtani left after his fourth at-bat in a 5-0 win over the Padres Saturday. He went 0 for 3 with a walk, grounding out to the pitcher in his final at-bat in the seventh inning. He was replaced by pinch hitter Enrique Hernandez in the ninth. Now, Roberts said on Saturday night, quote, his back tightened up, so it was one of those things where I got word before his fourth at-bat, his back tightened up, so being up 5-0, we didn't want to push it, end quote. He said Ohtani's back was feeling better and added that he did some activity on Sunday. The concern was, quote-unquote, minimal. Now, remember, Ohtani signed a 10-year, $700 million contract, which is backloaded, and
That's just still mind-boggling to think about.
that he's taking
$700 million.
right. And he's taking $1 million a year until the last year of the contract, where they owe him an ungodly amount of money. But yes, so this is what we're looking at right now. Also, since we're mentioning Ohtani, I do want to mention this because this is very interesting Ohtani news. So, and I got to give Ross credit as my official, unofficial producer here. I want to make note of this. There's going to be a TV series that's going to be made about Ohtani and his interpreter. Allegedly, there's a TV series being created.
I saw that
about this. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, that would be awesome. That would be one of the funniest things ever. It would. Oh my goodness. That. Now, I guarantee you, people have already started to forget about that by now because obviously his name's been cleared. But I feel like that's overkill, making a TV series about it. But I mean, hey, I'd watch it. I think it'd be funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's instead of calling it 30 for 30, maybe it's 30 on 30. So, just that roulette table, 30 chips on
Yeah.
30.
30 on 30, I think 30 is red.
Yeah.
So 30 on 30 red.
Yeah, 30 on 30 instead of 30 for 30 here. Let's take a look at this. TV series to be made about gambling scandal of Shohei Ohtani, ex-interpreter, the most talked about baseball player of the modern era. Looking at the contract and everything here, I'm going to attempt to say this name, Ippei Mizuhara.
I know Ippei is right. I believe Mizuhara is correct.
Yeah,
too.
so Ippei Mizuhara here, his former interpreter, looking at this situation here. There's looking to make a TV drama series. It looks like it's going to happen Lionsgate Television, which has been around for a while and done a lot of things. They're already developing a script to tell the story of Ohtani's rise to the top and the gambling scandal involving his interpreter, which has been obviously a topic of conversation here. So we do know that.
So it's more of like talking about how he got to there, and then that's part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was going to be completely about the gambling scandal.
Yeah, that's what I thought here. But this is what it says. Let me see here. I'm looking at a few of these But it said Lionsgate is what's coming up in a bunch of the
Mm-hmm.
stories here, that Lionsgate is the one that's working on it. It says, yeah, Lionsgate's developing a TV series on the betting scandal. This one says it's on the betting scandal. The untitled project is described as a, quote, a story of trust, betrayal, and the trappings of wealth and fame.
Interesting.
They could put that on Lifetime.
Yeah.
Look at this. This is crazy.
I tell you what.
Come home at 3 o'clock in
you-
the afternoon and watch a new episode of Shohei Ohtani's scandal on Lifetime.
Yep. I tell you what. If you watch network TV, there's been some good ones going around recently. I don't know. Do you watch? Have you seen Young Sheldon?
Yes.
Have you seen the latest episode of Young Sheldon?
No. You can tell me.
I feel like
You can say it. You can say it. I'm not going to.
Okay, so the inevitable moment that we were all waiting, that we all knew was going to happen this season,
Bazinga?
did happen at the end of it did happen at the end of the episode. So we finally got because if you watch The Big Bang Theory, you all know that Sheldon talked about how his father died when he was 14. So this is fine. We all knew it was coming. It was just a matter of when.
Yeah.
And it happened in the most recent episode, and the 2-part season finale has to do a lot with his funeral and then what happens afterwards.
Yeah.
Because I think what they're supposed to do is, as they leave this off, it's going to be leaving it off in such a way that when they start the show about Georgie and Mandy, it's going to be more of a smooth transition into that show, from what I understand. So I'm a fan of this. I'm a fan of the show, and it's, you knew it was coming.
Yeah.
And it still wasn't. Nothing could still prepare you for that. It was still a very sad moment, and the way they portrayed it, with Sheldon's face after they found out, you see Sheldon just with like a blank look on his face, and then he just sits down like in just complete shock. Right, like. But this season of that show has definitely been a good one. But am I crazy, or is there? I think, you know what? I think it was because when did the writer's strike end? Wasn't that like late fall ish?
I'm trying to think about it in relation to Deadpool,
because
Deadpool had filmed so much. So hold on, let me see here.
The two main shows that I watch on CBS, Young Sheldon and Blue Bloods, are both coming to an end in their seasons with a lot less episodes than what you would normally have. Because Blue Bloods is going to finish, I think, with 10 episodes this season.
Yeah,
and they're normally an 18 to 21 episode season.
It was a 148-day writer's strike that ended in late September.
So I think the writer's strike definitely has something to do with this.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing and by the way, Blue Bloods, which like I only watch with my dad.
That's right, we did talk about that.
Yeah, we were
such a great show.
We were watching that, and we were watching that recently here. And I said to my dad, I was like, "Is this a new episode?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "My goodness, I love watching Blue Bloods." There's certain shows like I only watch with my dad, NCIS, Blue Bloods. We used to watch Numbers, which I absolutely love that show. And we, of course, watched as a family growing up, Mom, Dad, and I, Walker, Texas Ranger. And I'm a kid. They said that there was over 100 acts of violence per episode of Walker, Texas Ranger. And I'm sitting there going, like, really, 100? Are they counting, like, every kick and every, like, camera angle turn of, like, the punch? But Walker, Texas Ranger, one of the greatest shows ever. But I don't know if it's going to be better than 30 on 30. Bet it all on 30, baby. Roulette table. Let's go. We're going to take a step aside. Yeah. We're going to take a step aside for a fast break. Murph and I got to get into the Jets and the Jaguars, and we're going to do that right after this, where sports meets life on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. You are inside of the Heritage Hill Studios. Central New Yorkers, you can now enjoy the taste of Heritage Hill award-winning craft beers, seltzers, and a full bar at 3 locations. Spend your weekends at their beautiful location in Pompey with its amazing views, sunsets, family, and pet-friendly facilities, as well as extensive private event areas. Get their taps, tonics, and tastes in their brand new North Syracuse location at Sweetheart Corner in North Syracuse, New York. When flying in and out of Syracuse Hancock International Airport, make sure to visit their Palladino Farms location. At Heritage Hill, they believe in supporting our community and are excited to now meet you where you're at and where you're going with their local farm-raised tastes. Find out more information at heritagehillbrewery.com.
Hi, this is Amy from Mother's Cupboard, home of the whole frittata. We are open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily, and we bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have at any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, hanging out with you where sports truly meets that thing called life. And you know that we are here Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time inside of the beautiful and wonderful Heritage Hill Studios. Heritage Hill out in Pompey on Sweet Road with the amazing Palladino Farms right there with you, making all these incredible creations and bringing them right into Heritage Hill Brewhouse, and of course bringing them over to Heritage Hill North as well, which you can see on 628 South Main Street in North Syracuse, New York at Sweetheart Corner. I know when Murph comes into town, we'll be going to not one, but we'll be going to both of these because it's two different experiences. And what we're going to do, because they have so many beers and different things that they make, is that I'm going to bring Murph to both different experience of Heritage Hill and then he'll look at the menu and say, all right, I want to try these 3 or these 4, so we'll try a couple there, we'll try a couple here, and we'll have a good time. So, Murph, I'm telling you right now, these 2 places, Heritage Hill is right up your alley, and every time I walk in, I'm like, gosh darn it, this guy's going to like this place. So I'm looking forward to it.
What's the best beer? What's the recommendation?
Oh my goodness. I mean, you and I are different in the taste, so Dan Palladino would be the one to ask. I would say the owner of this on what's the one to go to. I just went with I would say that I like the one that I got was the Shocker Lemonade, but
Oh, that was the one you said you liked, right? That has
Yeah.
like the
yeah, that's
almost
the one
almost like a line of Kugels that we talked about last week.
that one I liked. I just went with Anthony and his wife Beth, who have frequented Heritage Hill Brew House, and then they just went to Heritage Hill North with me for the first time ever over the weekend. So I know that he tried some good stuff there as well, and he kind of trusted them to give a taste. But and they picked something good. He got a couple of them. But yeah, I would say the menu is very vast here, and they had frozen margaritas and stuff there too, just so y'all know, people. But yeah, there's a lot of different things on their menu. I would have to ask Dan what he thinks is the best of the best, but I can honestly tell you that the Shocker Lemonade one that I had was really nice. I got it this weekend, and I got it before that when I was with Dan. So I can give it a shout out a couple times here. If you want your beer to have a little bit of a different taste and a little bit of
I like a
sweeter
lager.
taste. Yeah.
I love a lager.
Okay.
That's my go-to.
All right. Yeah, we'll get
So
you.
I'll have to do a beer flight when I'm up there and then try a couple different ones. But yeah, that'll be interesting. I'm sure the beer will be a lot different than what I'm gonna experience over in Europe in a couple of weeks. I still have not tried Guinness.
Okay.
Nothing against Guinness. I want to try and go buy I don't want to spend $6 at a restaurant to get Guinness and not know if I'm gonna like it.
Right.
It's one of those things that you got to try it first, right? But everyone that I've talked about has said that Guinness actually tastes a little bit different over there than it does in the States. So it almost might not matter, right? So, but I wanna be okay with Guinness. Like I want to be able to go into Ireland and say, hey, can I get a pint of Guinness?
Yeah.
Because even though I'm an American, my family's roots are from Ireland.
Right.
My family goes back to, my dad's father's parents were both born in Ireland and met over here in the States and got married in 1901. So that part of my family goes all the way back to, pre-Revolutionary War over in Ireland. So, I'll walk around the streets of Ireland, with the last name Murphy. There's probably quite a few Murphys over there, I would think. And I really hope that while we're over there, we take a trip to Murphy's Irish Pub in the heart of Dublin.
Yeah.
Because that'd be pretty darn cool. I have no clue if anyone related to me would run that place. Maybe like a 10th cousin or something.
You walk in there and it's like your same face, just like with a beard.
That'd be so funny.
Like just a different. It's like it looks
with
like Murph.
With a little bit of an Irish accent and
Yeah.
Oh man, that'd be so great. I can't wait to go over there. It's less than 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for it.
Murphy's Ireland. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to you being over there. Tortora shows up in Italy, so I think my mom found 7 restaurants with our name on it. So, you never know, Murph.
I'm sure there's a lot of Murphy's places in Ireland.
Yeah. I mean, you could definitely find a long-lost relative for sure. Just so you all know, the voting continued here. The pitch clock is currently 50-50. So it started off yes. Now it's 50-50. Do you think the pitch clock should be extended in Major League Baseball? Currently 15 seconds with no base runners, 20 when there's at least one base runner. You are locked at 50-50.
I think even if you add 5 seconds to it, it's enough.
Yeah. People are locked at 50-50. Vote now at CallDT. That's CALLDT on X. Murph, your Jets. What's on your mind? What are you thinking about? The rookie mini camps, some have finished, some are doing right now, and then it's all getting ready for the rookie showcase that's going to be coming up. So what's on your mind with the Jets? Could be literally anything, but we're heading toward the 2024-25 season. We're heading into the summer. Before we know it, we're going to be in training camp in July, and then we're going to be going into the preseason. So what's on the mind?
I think what's on my mind the most is just looking at this roster on paper. This is by far the most talented team on paper for the Jets in my lifetime. This is a team.
Big words, Murph.
That I said on paper.
Yeah.
I did say, you look at what they did on the offensive line. Tyron Smith, who when he's healthy, is the best left tackle in football. Only reason we were able to get him for as cheap as they did is because he's had a major history of injuries. Hence why they took Olaf Fashanu in the first round of the draft. But just in terms of the playmakers on the roster, right? You bring in Mike Williams basically to move Alan Lazard down the depth chart. Obviously, you're not cutting him because he's going to cost him a lot of money, but Aaron Rodgers also likes Alan Lazard. So Alan Lazard was not good last year without Aaron Rodgers. He could easily be very good with Aaron Rodgers. So who's to think that he might not be? So good to keep him on the roster. Malachi Corley, the Yak God or Yak King, or I forget what exactly the term was there. But great player. Draws a lot of comparisons to Deebo Samuel. Could very easily be a similar player to him. Yeah. And he doesn't have to do much as a rookie. He's he's a great player. He's he'll be a big part of the roster, but he doesn't have to have the pressure of being a number one receiver. That's Garrett Wilson. And you have Mike Williams ahead of him too. So you can put him in the slot and let him do his thing, and then let Alan Lazard be wide receiver 4. The defense got better. As good as Bryce Huff was, Hassan Reddick's still one of the best edge rushers in the NFL. They trade John Franklin Myers, but John Franklin Myers has been, kind of iffy the last couple of years. They finally get Zach Wilson off the roster. They have a competent backup in Tyrod Taylor. They draft Jordan Travis from Florida State. As you all know, I was absolutely pumped about that. Safe to say, Mike Norvell shared my excitement for him, or for Jordan Travis with that, as we have spoken about before. Yeah. But they brought the kicker, they brought the special teams back. Morstead and Zerline are back. This team, had Rodgers been healthy last year, would have been a lot better. But this team is head and shoulders better than the team that took the field last year. The offensive line was a major issue last year. This year, it's not. You got Morgan Moses back to play right tackle. You brought in a solid player in John Simpson from the Ravens to play guard. Elijah Vera Tucker is going to actually get to stick at one position and play guard. Both times he's gotten hurt, it's been at tackle. So playing as a guard is probably going to be very beneficial for him to help him stay healthy. But the roster has very, very few question marks. Safety still could be a little bit of an issue. But they got some good players back there. I believe they brought Chuck Clark back. I just wanted to double check that to make sure I'm, not forgetting that.
Yeah.
But I believe they brought Chuck Clark back. They did. Okay, they brought him back. Ashton Davis has been good on special teams. They've got some other good guys that can play out there. They picked up, I think the Mr. Irrelevant pick was a safety, if I remember correctly. I don't remember who it was off the top of my head.
It was a DB,
yeah. I knew it was a defensive back. I couldn't remember if it was a safety or a corner. But I'm excited for this team this year, man. It's like I said, it's the most talented roster that has been assembled during my lifetime.
Yeah.
You have the best quarterback that stepped on the field during my lifetime. Mm-hmm. Better than Brett Favre. Don't even want to say nothing about Brett Favre. Brett Favre.
Respect the Crocs, bro. I
respect Brett Favre. It was great to see him play for the Jets for a year.
Yeah.
But clearly he never wanted to be here in the first place.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers wanted to be here. They never would have gotten Aaron Rodgers if Aaron Rodgers didn't want to be here. It wasn't like the Brett Favre trade. The Jets got Brett Favre because it was the only team that could get Brett Favre.
Yeah.
The Jets got Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers wanted to be here. He was not showing up to voluntary workouts with the Packers. He wanted no part of being on that team anymore, right? He comes to the Jets, showing up at voluntary workouts, OTAs, everything. He's there early.
That's because the
Sitting at tables
psychedelics
with everybody.
are different now. He's got the psychedelics.
Sitting at the table with somebody new every day for lunch and learning about the player's background and everything. Aaron Rodgers is a true leader, right? And you all know that I've said this for a long time, that Aaron Rodgers is, he won't be for long. Mahomes, give Mahomes a few more years of playing like Mahomes, will become Aaron Rodgers, as of this very second, is the most talented player to ever step on a football field. The most talented quarterback to ever do it. Mahomes will probably surpass him. Obviously, when you look based on pure talent, it's more objective than when you look at the GOAT debate, right? You look at the GOAT debate, Brady's got 7 Super Bowls, sorry. Montana's got 4. Okay. Mahomes has 3. Mahomes could very well continue to move up that chart a little bit. But Mahomes is more talented than Brady ever was. Rodgers is more talented than Brady ever was. Rodgers only had 1 Super Bowl, in part because I don't think the Packers really did a great job surrounding him. Right? He's thrown only a handful of passes to receivers who were drafted in the first round.
Yeah.
And now he's got 2 of them on his team, with Garrett Wilson and Mike Williams. Malachi Corley, obviously a 3rd-round pick, looks like he's going to be great. I thought this was the year they were going to go take a receiver at 10, and when Roma Dunze went off the board to the Bears, that dream kind of faded. So, Rodgers was good with the offensive line pick, because I think he understands full well that he's 40 years old and he's coming off a major injury.
Yeah.
So they need to make sure that he's protected back there. That's a quarterback's only as good as his protection.
Yeah.
Right? So, you look at a guy like Tom Brady over the years. If you put Tom Brady behind a terrible offensive line, he probably may not have been as good as he was. He still would have been good, but he may not have been quite as good as he was.
Yeah.
But with Rodgers, I fully expect, if he's able to stay healthy with coming off the Achilles, which I would say is a little bit of a question mark considering the surgery that he had, right? Because we don't know how it's never really been done before. So yes, he could have he would have come back had the Jets been in contention last year. But we've never seen someone come back from this exact surgery before. Yeah. So it's new, it's different. So how is he able to handle it? Right? Is it going to re-tear? If it re-tears, his career's over. I can tell you that right now. But if this surgery is as successful as they say it was, he claims to have 3-4 years left in the tank, which I love, because getting to see number 8 go out there is going to be awesome.
I think he is too.
I think so too. I'm going to assume 2. Hope for a couple more, but what I really hope is that Jordan Travis develops.
I think
right?
he is.
I think Jordan Travis is a great player. Jordan Travis, you ask anyone around college football and even in the NFL circles, Jordan Travis, had he never gotten hurt, probably would have been the 7th quarterback taken in the first round this year. Maybe not the 7th, but would have been picked among 7 quarterbacks in the first round. I firmly believe that. So to get him in round 5,
yeah,
again, major injury, that could go in all sorts of directions. Right? But he's a guy who would have been a first-round pick. When you can get that type of talent in round 5, there's no risk. There's literally no risk to that. And they can put him on IR for the year so he won't even take up a roster spot, which is awesome. So they can still sign a 3rd-string quarterback. So I'm very optimistic for this team. I really, really am. I'm not going to sit here for a second and say they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think they can, but I'm not going to sit here and say they're going to. because you still got the 2-time defending champion, the Kansas City Chiefs, in there.
Yeah.
Within your own division, you still have the Dolphins and the Bills.
Yeah.
You've got, oh God, who? The Ravens still. The Steelers find a way to be good every year.
Texans.
The Texans are up and coming and we're really, really good.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on your Jags to come out and be good again. I think they just had an off year.
Yeah.
Trevor played hurt at the end of the year and it cost them a few games. So, now he's going to come back healthy. They're going to, I think they're going to be in a lot better hands.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good teams in the AFC.
There is. Well, let me get to some of the stuff here because Murph giving his thoughts here. We got a few minutes more because Murph is going to be hopping here to a tournament. I do want to let it be known, though, that your Jets, I have an interesting connection. First and foremost, a couple of years ago, I accurately predicted the Jets' first 4 picks of that draft. And the interesting thing beyond that, on top of that, is Israel Abanikanda, the running back out of Pittsburgh, covered him in college. Jacques Patrick covered him in college. Also had... Who are my other guys that I had in college here? I had Jermaine Johnson the second in college and had Hassan Reddick. So covered a bunch of these guys when they were going through the Temples and the Florida States and so in the pits of the world. So when I look at this roster, I got some Jets that I definitely am cheering for in the fact that I got to spend some time around them and looking forward to seeing what they could do. And also Kenny Yeboah, who I covered in his high school recruitment when he was trying to pick his college. So him and I go back to the high school ranks of what he was looking at and where he was looking to go when he was playing at tight end and wide receiver, marked down as both. The Jaguars, which I want to hit on before we do our show and tell really quick here. My thoughts.
I think it's going to be your show and tell because I really don't have anything.
What'd you say?
I've got stuff that's coming in the mail today, but it's not here yet.
No,
so I'll have to show it next week.
I got a couple things here, but the Jaguars for me. Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones having 2 of the top 15 quarterbacks picked in 2021, bringing Mac Jones home to Jacksonville. That's a cool story for me. I don't anticipate him being out there, obviously. He's an insurance policy for Jacksonville, who last year had to lean on C.J. Beathard and really try to figure it out in crunch time. It affected the Jaguars' positioning and ultimately affected them in getting to the postseason. Trevor Lawrence was playing injured for multiple weeks, and that's not fair to him, not fair to the team. So Mac Jones is in there as an insurance policy. Bringing back the running backs, I feel good about that. I'm excited. I had some time with Tank Bigsby last year. I'm looking forward to seeing what he can mature to and what he can become. He's somebody that was really focused on, if I make 3 good plays and I mess up on the 4th one, I got to fix that. So I'm excited to see what that's going to look like. Obviously, this is contract time for Trevor Lawrence and Travis Etienne Jr., who are both extended in their 5th-year option by the Jacksonville Jaguars, but now it's time to lock them up. Receiving-wise, this is going to be an open room. They've let some guys go. They've shortened the list that's going into camp. So Brian Thomas Jr., obviously working out with the rookies. Gabe Davis, who I covered at UCF, he's on the team now. So that's fun for me. Jacksonville typically bringing in Florida Gators, UCF Knights, and Florida State Seminoles. And I get the opportunity to see a lot of these guys again in my coverage of the American heavily and the ACC heavily with those UCF ties and the Florida State ties. Christian Kirk, I love talking with him. I'm happy he's back in the room, and Evan Engram as well. I'm going to miss some guys, going to miss Zay Jones, and of course, going to miss, Jamal Agnew. But Parker
Zay went to Arizona, right?
Zay Jones did for
Was
a
it
year.
Arizona?
Yeah, he's in Arizona for a year. Parker Washington, Tim Jones, Devin Duvernay, Elijah Cooks, Seth Williams, all going to try and get some time out here and try and find their place. And some of those guys have been on the show. Excited to see Duvernay return some kicks and see what he can do. Really excited to see if this offensive line can stay healthy. There's depth again. Walker Little can be a backup insurance policy for tackle and guard again. So that's a good thing. He's a talented guy. Ezra Cleveland, they brought in last year. They believe in him. So currently he's a starter at left guard. Cam Robinson, Mitch Morse came in from Buffalo at center. Luke Fortner came in right away as a rookie out of Kentucky and played center. So, you got 2 guys there that could play it. You also have Shatley back Tyler Shatley, Old Faithful. He could play guard or center. Brandon Sheriff. I thought that was a good move, getting him in the last offseason from the Commanders. And then Anton Harrison, who I spent a lot of time speaking with, and Javon Foster going to be backing him up going into camp at right tackle. The one offensive lineman that they took in the draft being Javon Foster. Defensively, they made a lot of moves to bring in guys to help them out on the defensive side of the ball. They brought in 2 LSU defensive tackles, and hopefully that'll help. Roy Robertson Harris, stop the run, go have fun. He said that to me. One of those quotes you don't forget. And Eric Armstead coming in from the Niners, if he can stay healthy, what that looks like. Devin Lloyd, Foye Oluokun, Trayvon Walker, Josh Allen, and Chad Muma, and so on and so forth. Love the linebacker crew. And, of course, Ronald Darby and Darnell Savage coming in the offseason. Monteric Brown, who they've kept on the team. He's had an opportunity to really grow as someone who was drafted late in recent history, one of the late round guys. And so we'll see where he can end up here. Jarian Jones coming in from FSU could be a steal from the team for the team. Andre Cisco out of Syracuse is in a contract year. I do what I call the Cisco Chronicles, so I'm excited to continue to talk with him. Tyson Campbell, high draft pick out of Ohio State, and I think this is the year where we're really looking at, did it work? Is he going to be the consistent guy that they need at corner, or are they going to bring in Jarian Jones as a young gun? Are they going to have Ronald Darby and Darnell Savage play in those positions? And don't forget about Dewey, strong safety, playing in that linebacker safety world in the middle of the field, and what Dewey can do to make some plays. So really excited about the team. They signed their kicker Cam Little, who's a rookie, and Riley Patterson, as of right now, back on the team. And I'm a huge fan of Riley Patterson. He was on the team, and then they let him go for Brandon McManus, and now it looks like the Memphis kicker is back in town. Love Riley, so looking forward to that. And Duvernay has already been slotted in at punt return and kick return with Parker Washington, Dearness Johnson, Tank Bigsby, and maybe Keelan Robinson, the running back they drafted out of Texas. Their 4th running back on the roster may end up being one of the return guys, which makes perfect sense, and we'll get him on the field. And now remember, folks, there's going to be a new kick return world that we're living in, new setup, new when can a guy run. Nobody can move except for the kicker and the returner until the ball is caught or, hits the ground. And so once there's contact with that ball, then people can start moving, try to prevent some injuries, and they're trying to create an opportunity for more returns so that more guys can have jobs and more people can stay safe is how I look at it. So I'm excited for Jacksonville. I'm excited to get down there. Would love to sneak down to camp. Would love to just be watching that. I am a student of the game. I love X's and O's, and I love just sitting and watching camp. And if you say, well, Dan, it's going to be hot, I can tell you that when I covered Jets camp for 6 years, it was almost always 90-something degrees in Cortland when the Jets were in town before they went back to Florham. So, I'm looking forward to Jacksonville. I think the biggest question marks are offensive and defensive line. Can they shore that up? And what they're going to do with the defensive backs. And then finding a good mix at wide receiver. Can Brian Thomas Jr. fill in right away? Can he be a big effect on this team? Can Gabe Davis finally be consistent instead of occasionally really incredible? And Christian Kirk, will he stay healthy? Because he's been a fantastic possession receiver, didn't get enough credit. He was the best receiver as far as consistently moving the ball down the field possession-wise, but people don't talk about that. I do because I see it. And Evan Engram, I said when he came into the league, I thought he was going to be one of the best tight ends in the country. He dipped. A lot of people forgot about him. I did not. And last year, 1,000-yard receiver as a tight end. Shout out to my man Evan Engram. Big faith in God. So Jacksonville, looking forward to everything that is to come. And boy, oh boy, can I not wait for camp to start. So with that being said, Murph, card-wise, do you have anything to show us today? Nothing.
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, everything new that I have, while you bring your stuff out there, I'll kind of just talk about this for just a second.
Yeah.
I bought into, so as some of you know, the new Bowman release came out. So 2024 yes. Bowman baseball came out, and so I bought into a break, and I bought the Nationals, and I bought the paper base spot. So paper base basically just means any base paper card that's not chrome, I get. So there's a bunch of Dylan Cruz in there. There's a bunch of Aiden Miller from the Phillies, George Lombard Jr. from the Yankees. Like a bunch of cards that, I could grade and it might be, $40, $50 cards a piece, but, didn't pay much for them at all. But as far as the Nationals went, all I'm going to say, because I want to save it for next week, I'll tell you off air later.
Yeah.
But I'll save it for next week. It was a good break. It was a very good break.
Nice. Yeah, no, and I know and the funny thing is, Bowman, yes, just came out, and in stores they were rated. They had just packs,
Oh, yeah.
and they were absolutely rated in the two stores that I went into, and GG Cards and Breaks getting some new shipments in, and of course I'd rather get it from them. So looking forward to what GG Cards and Breaks has. I'm going to honor my brother today, my big brother Joey. He did something, and I didn't show you all this, but he put together for my birthday. He opens up cards all the time, and he put together, and there's more than just these, but this was for my birthday. He got me a ton of stuff for my birthday, and he went through his packs and took out the Arizona Diamondbacks and made a special case, little plastic thing here for me, and filled it with Diamondbacks. And he tells me all the time, he goes, whether the card's worth money or not worth money, I don't care. If it's numbered, he's like, my little bro's a Diamondback fan, so I'm going to get you that. So I got Drew Ellis, rookie card from Alan Ginter that he put in here. De Los Santos refractor that he put in. And he just took all the stuff that he could find and put it in here. Tyler Gilbert, a little black and white love rookie card. We got what is this one? Seth Beer.
Oh, the best. Oh, if you don't remember Seth Beer from Clemson, the best name in college baseball. Oh my God, what a guy!
Yeah, Seth,
And he hit tanks too in college.
Seth,
Hasn't been a big success story in Major League Baseball yet, but
Seth
great
Beer,
name.
Carson Kelly, and let's see who else we got in here. We got Jake McCarthy, rookie card.
Scranton boy.
Yes. Ryan Nelson, pitchers, rookie card, chrome. Cooper Hummels, rookie card, chrome. This is what my McGill looks like.
That's a cool one.
Eduardo Escobar, and he's given me a bunch of stuff beyond this. Brandon Pfaadt. We have Drew Jameson's rookie, and then a futures Drew Jones. And then this was from him for my birthday separately. He goes, I know this is worth some money, but I want to give it to you just because I know that you love the Diamondbacks. And he gives me Corbin Carroll's, which we all know they're all worth something. Renowned rookies refractor rookie card of Mr. Carroll that came here from my brother.
From
so
Bowman
I just
Platinum.
want
Nice.
Yeah, so I just want to honor Joey here this morning because he always is thinking of me and he's always doing nice things for me. And for my birthday, he put together this nice little package of Diamondbacks, and he's known to do things like this all the time. So I just want to say to my big brother Joe down in Florida, I love you. And BB, he knows what BB stands for. And much appreciation for thinking of me the way that you do and giving me some Diamondbacks and Corbins and all that good stuff. So that's my show and tell, is to just show some love for the big brother. I know you and I got PSA stuff out there. Any note, any word? Do we have any status on any of them?
Well, they arrived at PSA on Friday.
Okay.
So it is still in the order prep phase. So there are 56 cards in this order.
And I have eight of them. So,
Yeah, and I've got 40.
Mark has 48.
Yeah, that's I sent out a lot of cards in this order.
By the way, I'm really upset with your Jets because you have two awesome names, but you waived one to bring another one in. You got a quarterback on your team named Colby Suits, which is so perfect to be in the TV show Suits. But the guy that you got rid of makes me I said rid of. I was starting to go Looney Tunes here. The guy that you got rid of, no, but the one that really just makes me sad. As much as Colby Suits is a cool name, you waived a quarterback by the wonderful, beautiful name of Pee Wee Jarrett. How dare you, Murph?
Oh my goodness!
Pee-wee. You got rid of Pee Wee. Sad.
Oh, it's sad.
But I appreciate, obviously, our time as always. Murph is with us on Mondays. We'll talk with you soon. You and I, of course, will talk off the air. Have a nice time with your dad today. You and I are both going to the chiropractor, so shout out to our backs and necks.
Yeah, well, I had an appointment at 12:15.
Yeah.
And we signed up for this tournament late, so I didn't remember what my appointment was. So they were able to move me up, thankfully. So I tend to play better after an adjustment. So hopefully this will be a big help for that.
Yeah, so hopefully things will get better. You'll do well. My best to your family. Shout out to mom and dad and the dog. And definitely have yourself a wonderful day. Be safe out there, and we'll talk soon.
Yes, sir. We will talk to you on Monday.
Sounds good. Murph coming back with us on Mondays as he does, and we look forward to that moment here inside of the Heritage Hill Studios, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We're going to take a step aside for a fast break, folks. We got a few minutes before my special airs as a separate video. So for those of you that know, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Of course, we are with you here on Facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT, YouTube.com/WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.podbean.com. You know that the show, like I said, goes to 11 a.m. We typically go past 11 a.m., but today it is going to be split into 2 videos. So it's going to be just a little bit different for all of you out there. We're going to be in 2 videos. The reason why we're doing that is because I have my special airing this morning with Fran Brown. So for those of you that are watching and listening, saying at 10:30, Dan, I'm going to be ready, please understand that will air as its own separate video. You can actually go on YouTube right now and click notify me so you can connect with that video on youtube.com and facebook.com, both /WakeUpCallDT. From the Heritage Hill Studios, we're going to take a step aside for a fast break. Wake Up Call will be back after this as we wrap up the first portion of today's show. In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they are always here for you. Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
Our corporate purpose at Chick-fil-A is to glorify God by being faithful stewards of all that's entrusted to us and to positively influence all those who come in contact with Chick-fil-A. And what became increasingly clear from our success in Cicero is that people love Chick-fil-A. And also I think we recognized that, we had a great opportunity to grow the brand and grow our platform. I felt incredibly grateful when I was selected to be a Chick-fil-A operator. I think what it's meant for me, what I've come to realize on a very deep level is that this is a calling for me. It's not a career, it's not a job. The Lord called me to be a Chick-fil-A operator and to use these restaurants to glorify Him and to positively influence other people. I'm blessed. I'm very blessed.
Head to Chick-fil-A Clay on 3974 State Route 31 in Liverpool, New York. Central New Yorkers, you can now enjoy the tastes of Heritage Hill award-winning craft beers, seltzers, and a full bar at 3 locations. Spend your weekends at their beautiful location in Pompey with its amazing views, sunsets, family, and pet-friendly facilities, as well as extensive private event areas. Get their taps, tonics, and tastes in their brand new North Syracuse location at Sweetheart Corner in North Syracuse, New York. When flying in and out of Syracuse Hancock International Airport, make sure to visit their Palladino Farms location. At Heritage Hill, they believe in supporting our community and are excited to now meet you where you're at and where you're going with their local farm-raised tastes. Find out more information at heritagehillbrewery.com. Avicoli's, located on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, has been your trusted neighbor for decades. Located just steps from Liverpool High School, we're happy to have the Liverpool Warriors on-site, on-location broadcast at Avicoli's through Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora every single month, featuring student athletes, coaches, and administration throughout the year from Liverpool High School. Head out to Avicoli's today on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road in Liverpool, New York, open Tuesday through Sunday for lunch, dinner, and drinks. We'd love to see you out there, and of course you can call them at 315-622-5100 for takeout, delivery, and catering. That's 315-622-5100, and also find them on myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. Having peace of mind when you're out of town that your furry-loving friend is safe and sound means taking them to Canine Campground, because we all know that when it comes to the love of our pets, it goes well beyond the call of duty to make sure they're safe and sound. Right, Lily? So take a ride to 242 Johnson Street in East Syracuse, New York, and see Canine Campground and where your dog will be staying, in the classic cabin, the executive cabin, the grand cabin, or of course the luxury cabin, because if you know Lily, you know she loves luxury. Now you don't have to wait to the last minute to find a family member or a friend that'll take your dog for a few days. Call Canine Campground at 315-299-4013. That's 315-299-4013. Their drop-off and pickup times are Monday through Sunday. Check K9campground.com for more information. That's the letter K, the number 9, and campground spelled with a K.com. K9campground.com.
When you're going out of town, bring your dog to Canine Campground.
PB&J's Lunchbox, the food truck that you love finding all throughout Central and Upstate New York, now has a street-side cafe. So when you're craving their traditional favorites as well as their out-of-box amazing menu items, you can now head to 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. Located just minutes from the highway, the Thruway, Destiny USA, and Onondaga Lake Parkway, PB&J's Lunchbox Street-Side Cafe is there for you Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner all throughout the day. Get breakfast for dinner, dinner for lunch, whatever you fancy, including their award-winning grilled peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Find them at 663 Old Liverpool Road in Liverpool, New York. PB&J's Lunchbox, where we love to know what's in your lunchbox.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family friendly. Some family friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
GG Cards and Breaks. Like, comment, subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks coming to you on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, is your one-stop sports card and trading card shop. You could find everything you need at GG Cards and Breaks in a very amazing way. They have a fantastic staff, Josh and Anthony, as well as Alex and Joel and the entire team there at GG Cards and Breaks. The work that they put in, their love for the hobby, they're like big kids. So these aren't just people selling cards. These are people selling cards that stay up to the trends and what's going on and just what you need to know. They can help you to understand things. They really care. And that's the thing that goes beyond it. They're good people. They're good, caring people. And when that is your foundation, good, hardworking, caring people, you're going to be successful. And they have been. And they have an awesome variety of singles as well as graded cards, packs, boxes. They're the only place I know that has every MLB team, every NBA team, every NFL team. They put it all together in one store. You never know what you're going to find in there. They just got a bunch of new stuff in, and that could be gone in a few hours. So you got to get yourself over to 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. Open Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and on Sundays from 10 to 5. GG Cards and Breaks. Let them know that DT sent you their way. So with that being said, here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, inside of the Heritage Hill Studios. Of course, we're happy to be here with you inside of our beautiful Heritage Hill Studios. And speaking of beautiful, the amazing Heritage Hill Brewhouse, which had a Mother's Day brunch to remember, and I can't thank them enough. Fantastic food and being there with my mom. Shout out to Dan Palladino, the owner of Heritage Hill. And who was the one cutting the meat at the end of the buffet? The owner. And it says a lot. And I only work with businesses who are willing to get their hands dirty and put themselves out there and serve the community. Dan doing a great job of that out in Pompey, as well as out in North Syracuse at Heritage Hill North on 628 South Main Street in North Syracuse at the Sweetheart Corner. So make sure you check them out there at their new location as well. I want to thank you all for tuning in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. In just a couple minutes, my special is going to air with Fran Brown. That'll be its own video. YouTube.com, Facebook.com, both /Wake Up Call DT, and on wakeupcalldt.podbean.com, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you find us on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, and YouTube by searching Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora or one word, Wake Up Call DT. A big time thanks to our partners, Heritage Hill Brewhouse and Heritage Hill North is our exclusive studio partner. Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, GG Cards and Breaks, Avicoli's, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Chick-fil-A Cicero and Chick-fil-A Clay, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory, Pizza Man, Great Lakes Sonda City, and Mother's Cupboard. Of course, we are the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Lemoyne College Dolphins, Bryan and Stratton College's Syracuse Bobcats, and the Binghamton University Bearcats. You will find Lemoyne on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. during Dolphin time. You'll find the Bearcats on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. during Bearcat time. And you'll find the Bobcats throughout the month as well. And they're all available on youtube.com /Wake Up Call DT. Make sure you click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and find the playlist for Lemoyne, for Bryan and Stratton College of Syracuse, and Binghamton. With that being said, our special with Fran Brown is airing now. God bless. No stress. Do your best. From the